Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Gemini, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Gemini, I hope that you're doing well. This is the 2026 overview reading for you. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy is going to be from the Soul Coaching Oracle deck, and for the tarot portion, the Artist Decoded Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angel, Spirits, Guides, what messages do you have for Gemini, please? Angel, Spirits, Guides, what messages do you have for Gemini? Thank you. Oh, beautiful card. Oh, beautiful card. The number is 25, which reduces to a 7, corresponding to the Chariot card of the Major Arcana. That's Cancer energy. You could be dealing with a Cancer or have Cancer placements in your chart. The Chariot card talks about fast movement forward, travel, hard control, victory. And the word that you have here is grace. Even the word grace, doesn't that just sound so comforting? A spirit wants me to refer to like the vibration of words, and they are pointing out that the word with the highest vibration, which you would think would be like something like love, it's not love, it's actually peace. Peace. I don't know how they figured out what the vibrations of words are. I don't know how that works. But peace has the highest vibration. But grace, I feel like grace should be up there too. Because it's almost as if even uttering the word elicits an emotion and a feeling and something visceral in the body that puts one at ease. That and this is something a very, very dear friend of mine who is a Leo, and she's a light worker. I'll never forget when she said this to me, that I was really kind of torn apart by a lot of things emotionally during the pandemic and a little bit after. And she said something to the effect of, sweet soul, you need to give yourself grace. And it's almost like forgiveness and patience and love, and it's all wrapped up in that one word. And so I'm feeling that for you for 2026, Gemini. Are you able to give yourself grace and give others grace as well? Very easy to say, difficult to do. But I see here, it's almost like the archangel is cradling you in their arms. This very much reminds me of the Temperance card. For some reason, it does remind me a little bit of the Lovers card too, which is the Gemini card, but I feel more temperance here. The patience aspect. There's this nurturing, this blessedness, all these words to describe this I don't know, it's almost beyond words what I feel right now. It's like it's so pure and so beautiful as to render one speechless. And it's something that you can embody. Might be difficult for you to perceive that, as Geminis are very much in the cerebral. But in a way, grace is asking you to suspend disbelief, because grace can seem like something otherworldly. I'm going to be pulling 6 cards for your reading today. The first set of cards will be what we're releasing, what Gemini is releasing. The second set will be what Gemini is welcoming. And the third set, what Gemini is embracing. It's going to be advice from Spirit in that third set. I am not taking any reversals. Spirit has asked me to take uprights only. So I will honor what Spirit has asked. So one more. Okay. Wow. Spirit asked me to look at the bottom of the deck. The King of Cups, Scorpio energy. King of Cups is somebody who has discovered within themselves a sense of emotional maturity. I like to think sometimes of the King of Cups as like super dad. Like the dad that shows you their love by what they do for you, how they show up in actions, not necessarily words or hugs, even though they're capable of all of those things. But that's kind of how I feel about the King of Cups sometimes. Like they're not super ooey gooey. They're not super like outwardly affectionate, but they love deeply. And that is showing up for you as part of your overall energy. Right? So really keeping in with the grace aspect. And I did look under the deck under that. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to stop here. Oh, wow. No, I have to keep going. Sorry. These are the 3 cards that were under that. The 6 of Swords, the Lover's card, Gemini, you showed up in your own reading, and the Chariot card right beside the Lovers. Remember, we referred to the number 25 as reducing to a 7. Here's the Chariot card. So you could really be dealing with Cancer energy, have Cancer placements, or just the idea of home and hearth, parenting, nurturing, right? The Lover's card is divine partnership, divine union, but it's also making good choices that speak to the heart space. And the 6 of Swords, moving away from chaos into a space of calm. Really beautiful. Into a space, perhaps, of grace. What are we releasing? Interesting. 9 of Cups, 6 of Wands. I see this. This is a card of wish fulfillment. This is a card of victory. The 6 of Wands is actually, the energy is representative of the Chariot in the minor arcana. Yes, this is a card of victory, public recognition, accolades, awards, promotion. And this is like an emblem of fulfillment, contentment. We can see it's here on display. There's something about this being the card of display. Came up in another reading. I want to say it was maybe Capricorn? Taurus? Don't remember. It came up as something of display. So kind of these 2 cards together feel like a little show off energy. We're showing off a little bit. It's almost like what you're releasing is this need to prove yourself, to show others how important you are. Yes, you're important, but there might have been this sense within you that you had to prove yourself to others. Prove yourself to coworkers, bosses, parents, friends, whomever, take it as it resonates. But it's almost like you're releasing the need for that kind of affirmation. Now, it's always nice for us when we get affirmation from people, We're social creatures, and we want people to approve of what we're doing and how we're living our lives. But it can't just be any old buddy, right? It has to be somebody who we respect, somebody who themselves is living a fulfilling life and leading by example, right? So it's not just like proving yourself just to prove yourself. This is what I feel as though you're releasing. Can I have a clarifier for that? What are we releasing? What is Gemini releasing? 2 cards. The 3 of Cups, the 5 of Cups. Very telling. Again, there's a lot of Cups energy here. I've only shown you 4 tarot cards and, 5 tarot cards, and 3 of them are Cups. 4 of them are Cups. So, the 3 of Cups is a card that I find problematic. Just personally, me as a reader, I find it problematic. I don't know why. It's this hang up I have about it, and Spirit knows that. Spirit uses kind of my frame of reference, right, when I interpret the cards for you, and Spirit knows that I don't like the 3 of Cups. It's probably because, 2's company, 3's a crowd. It's like, I don't like 3s. I don't like going out in groups of 3s. It's always got to be 2 or 4s with me, because it's like when there are 3 people in a dynamic, it's like I want to be able to focus on somebody, and then I have to focus between 2 people, and then it just feels like things get diluted. I just can't stand it. And Spirit knows all of that, right? And so when I see the 3 of Cups, this is not the Google translation of the 3 of Cups is celebration, or clinking our glasses, or partying, we're coming together. Great. That's not how I see this card in this reading for you. It's 3's a crowd. So it could be like just like too many opinions, or too many eyes looking, or something like that. And then the 5 of Cups here, this card of melancholy, sometimes depression, the feeling of isolation, right? Put these 2 cards together, and then it's almost like here are the friend groups like chatting it up and kind of celebrating off over here, and then there's this energy in the distance, like looking in the distance at this celebration, but not actually a part of it, isolated out, separated out. This is what you're leaving behind, right? That maybe there was a part of you that went after those accolades, that affirmation, that acknowledgement. And there still was this sense of isolation. And you're just like, you know what? It's not so much like, why do I even bother? That's not what I'm saying. It's not a why do I even bother. It's more about, I'm going to focus on doing well for myself. I'm not going to focus on having to prove it to other people. I'm going to focus on doing well for myself, for my own edification, my own satisfaction. And if other people want to acknowledge it, fantastic. This is not to say that you aren't going to advocate for yourself, especially in a job scenario where there are raises and bonuses involved and reviews involved and stuff like that. You're absolutely going to advocate for yourself. I'm talking like larger picture conceptually of like what it means to kind of fit in and stand out. There are different ways you can see this. You can see this as being lonely up in the mountains somewhere. You can be like, I'm ruling over my kingdom. It's all about perception. What are we welcoming? This is really beautiful. 2 of Cups, another Cups card. 2 of Cups is divine partnership and divine union. So there could be a partner, a romantic partner or a friendship that you are welcoming in 2026, but I also see it as this connection of you and your higher self. It's like we're the avatars on Earth, right? And our soul is somewhere in the 5D. When we can connect to our soul, when our soul speaks to us of our purpose, when we can align with that purpose, then soul, spirit, and body come together in something so beautiful, right? Five of Swords here. I'm not a fan of the fives. Five of Swords can be winning at all costs. Thank you, Spirit. With reference to this card, though, this card clarifies this one. It's almost like this is what's taking a little bit of center stage now. And I'm going to make it work no matter what. I'm going to look to have it succeed and maybe work against some odds, because the Five of Swords can be winning at all costs. There's a partnership here, or a connection to self that is of the utmost importance to you. And you're giving it a lot of attention and a lot of investment. Can I get a clarifier for the Five of Swords and the Two of Cups for Gemini? Ooh, a bunch of swords came out. First of all, you showed up in your reading, King of Swords, Gemini energy for me. King of Swords, beautiful, strategic, brilliant, genius level Gemini. Ruling the roost, but there are butterflies here, right? There is kind of a lightness of being with this card, even though there's like this huge formation behind them, kind of empire that they've built, but there's butterflies abounding. So it's kind of like we're still keeping things light, which is also a Gemini aspect, I feel. It's like you spend so much time building up that fortress in the background, but then you're just kind of light and airy in your demeanor. King of Swords is a learned person, an expert in their field. Ace of Pentacles, brand new beginning, doors opening, right? Towards prosperity, foundations, home life, good health. Spirit is offering this ace to you as a new opportunity, and your arms are open. Your hands are willing and able to receive. Three of Wands, kind of embarking on a new journey. You're not really sure at the moment of the timing of things. This card can be a card of waiting. You're not entirely sure of the timing of things, but you're open to what will occur. So I see that as really beautiful things. It's like, one, with the King of Swords here, it's like Gemini really getting back to self. There was too much of a, I felt like there was too much of an emphasis on other people in the past, and now it's just really getting back to the self and getting back to what matters to you, who matters to you, and protecting that at all costs. And like recognizing it. It's almost like, it's weird. This is like such a weird opening here, but it's almost like if you like superimpose, like this is a piece of this. So it's almost like there's this completion energy here. Things starting to make sense. Advice from Spirit. Interesting advice from Spirit. What we're embracing 2026. Two of Wands. So this was the Three of Wands. This is the Two of Wands. Kind of now looking towards where do I go from here? The Two of Wands can often be depicted as this like fork in the road. I can go left, I can go right. Which way is the most correct? It is clarified by the Three of Swords, though. You know, it wouldn't be a Gemini reading if this card didn't show up. This or the Ten of Swords. Three of Swords is arguably one of the most difficult cards in the tarot because it represents heartache and heartbreak. This is Spirit's advice to you, right? There's this fear that you have because now a path is, or multiple paths are laid out in front of you, and there's this deep fear that you're going to make the wrong decision, and Spirit wants to reinforce to you that it's just a decision. Neither is good nor bad. The important part is that you move, that you make a decision, that you tell yourself that you're capable and intelligent enough to be able to be discerning on what will serve you best. So it's almost like whatever hang-ups or whatever fear you've had from your past, Spirit really wants you to leave it behind. And in a way, it's like, okay, it's part of what we're embracing, right? It's a part of who I am. I can't change the past. I can't change the fact that there were moments that really triggered me or hurt me. But instead of looking at it as something that holds me back, I'm going to embrace it as something that defines where I can go in the future, right? That it's like a jumping off point to motivate myself to really trigger something happy, trigger something better. Can I have a clarifier for the Three of Swords, please? For what we're embracing. What is Gemini embracing? The Hermit. Beautiful. I asked for a clarifier for this heartache, heartbreak card, and they gave me the Hermit. Number 9 of the Major Arcana, Virgo energy. The Hermit is all about becoming spiritually inclined, looking at our spiritual gifts, looking at our triggers and our traumas, literally looking at our triggers and our traumas. And see how this red here and this red here, it's like, it's not who you are, but it's a part of you. It's a part of your path. It's a part of your story. It isn't the whole story. And the Hermit is able to take that and transmute it and use it to ask bigger questions. What was the lesson I was supposed to learn from this heartache, heartbreak, this disappointment? What was the lesson? Have I learned that lesson? Have I healed from that lesson? And how can I help others with my experience? The Hermit often becomes very insular, kind of goes into the woods to meditate and contemplate. The Hermit is like a really considerate energy, considerate of surroundings and feelings and memories and it was a very strange sound. There are a lot of cars passing under my window, but that card in particular, it was almost like, because it did snow a little bit earlier, no other card is making like a slushy sound, but the card that just went by made a very loud slushy sound. And Spirit is pointing out my attention to it or pointing it out to me, and now one of the candles on my desk just went out, and I always light 2 candles. Hold on, let me light another candle. Okay, Spirit just said to me, we can go into the spiritual path kicking and screaming, or we can be in a place of quiet contemplation and sit with it for a moment. Sit with the triggers and the traumas. Sit with the pain for just a moment in order to look at it, acknowledge it, and heal from it. That's slushing. It was almost, thank you, Spirit. Is like that slushing sound. It was like dragging something along behind it. It was like the monkey on your back. Spirit doesn't want this to be the monkey on your back anymore. It's like rewriting a new story for yourself, a new narrative. And maybe that healing is the road less traveled. That healed state is the road less traveled for Gemini. So that's your 2026 overview reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Gemini.